All right, we're back again talking auction draft for 2024. And today we're talking about some steals and values of some players that we think could really help your team, or like at least they have the path to, right? These guys are going for pretty cheap, where we think there's definitely an opportunity for them to do something. And the price is just too low for me right now on a couple of these guys. So I'll start with my number one here. And going off ESPN prices for this, not what ESPN sets the price at. What we're doing is going what they're actually going for in drafts. You can search ESPN live draft trends. It'll tell you how these players are actually going. So this is what I like to look at to see what the true market is out there. And my first guy is going to be Tyjae Spears. I loved Tyjae Spears last year. I was a big fan of his. I thought he would get an opportunity soon with Derrick Henry, hopefully, going away, and he did, but they brought Tony Pollard in, so it kind of has dampered what he could do, right? What people think. He's only going for $1.8 right now. To me, that's dirt cheap for a guy who, and honestly, Pollard's right there too. They're both dirt cheap. I kind of like to go sometimes for the guy who's a little bit cheaper. He's not much cheaper, but I think someone could emerge from this backfield. And 1.8, basically $2, is nothing to throw on the end of your bench. For a guy I really like, and I think showed some really good flashes when he had the opportunity last year. For $2, I will, if Spears goes for $2, I'm going to have him on all my teams, like the whole year. I might even throw Pollard. Pollard's going for 2.1. Like maybe just the Titans backfield, I think is just absolutely dirt cheap. You get both of these guys for $4 or $5 combined, and I think you're going to get a player out of this at some point.
I agree. I mean, I like both of the players. I think Pollard is undervalued as well. I think he kind of got done dirty.
Yeah.
And I think that Spears, I was a big fan of him coming into, Tennessee out of the draft. I think that this would be his moment to shine. So the hard part is I'm guessing that they're going to play both of them. It's going to be a split.
That's the goal.
I still think that there is. I think if Will Levis can take a step forward and they can move the ball a little bit, those guys will be able to show what they can do. And they're very different backs, which I think will be fun to watch. So I agree.
I think actually, even with a split backfield completely, I think the prices are still too cheap. I think you're still going to get a value. So you're getting guys who are going to play a lot for nothing. So Tyjae Spears / lowercase letters Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, right.
All right. So who do you got?
This is a fun one. I could go all day on guys that now are being undervalued.
There's a lot out there.
Yeah. The one guy that's jumping out at me, just because I think that his production will be high and the question will be quarterback and how many touchdowns can he get. But I think Deontay Johnson is just too low right now. He's not necessarily like an unknown name. He has produced before, but he goes to Carolina, and I feel like people just completely dump the idea of him being a good NFL wide receiver for some reason. He's going for $2.5, and that has gone up like almost $1 in recent week. So maybe this is everyone realizing that he's going too cheap. But I do think that he is a young pass catcher, like a possession wide receiver that can get open. And I think for Bryce Young, that is going to go a really long way. I could see him soaking up so many targets. Will he get into the end zone? I think that is a very reasonable question. But for $2 to $3, if it holds, I think that you got yourself a very safe wide receiver 3 at the least. So I look at this one, I'm like, that's too much talent to be less than $5. No, I mean, like, there's
100%.
just no way.
I mean, Adam Thielen had a good stretch last year with Bryce Young.
Absolutely.
He really did. And I think people are being too harsh on Bryce Young. I really do. So
yeah, he is getting a lot of hate.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the best of him. So I like that one. There's a lot of guys. When I was looking at Deontay Johnson, there's just so many guys around there, man. There's a lot of cheap players who I kind of am interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where I'm going to go with all of them. But my next one, my second guy we're going to talk about, it's going to be Blake Corum. $1.2. He's going for nothing. Michigan guy. Not just that. Like I've said, if you listen to the Players I'm Avoiding episode, if you listen to anything or seen anything we posted, I'm not a Kyren guy. And this is my anti-Kyren Williams take. But I truly believe this backfield is going to be more split than maybe people think. And if that's the case, I think it's a good backfield for running backs to be in. Kyren showed it last year. And off a guy who I think's not a special talent. I think Blake Corum's a pretty good talent. I think he's going to be way better than $1, but I'll take a chance at $1. Throw him on my team. $1. I'll put him on my team. Let's see what happens. Again, there's no risk. There's no risk at $1, $2. in an Ox draft. There's just no risk. That's what I love about it. Like, you can get all these different guys. There's just no risk, but you can get the guy you want. And I want to throw Corum on my team, so I'm going to do that. So
yeah, I'm wholeheartedly in favor of this one, and I'm less of a shorting Kyren and more just bolstered by Corum. I'm not even a Michigan fan. I hate Michigan with a burning passion because I'm a state guy. But Blake Corum, you watch him and you knew that he was NFL ready.
He's a pro back.
He has unbelievable balance, and I do think that he is going to be able to come in day one and do really, really well. And I think that right now it is very, very undervalued. Wholeheartedly love that pick.
Yep.
My last one that I'm going to pick is going to be a running back as well. I'm going for a veteran that I think is, once again, I think he has another year left in him at least, and I think that is a very interesting place where he's landed, and that's Austin Eckler. He's going for $2.7. That, I think that is, I can make the case against him, but I don't think it's a strong case. I like the fact that he's going to a place where he'll be able to run, but also you're going to have him. I think Daniels is a very fun rookie quarterback, and I think that Eckler would be a great, pass catching back that can really help a young guy. I think that he is going to soak up a lot of those. I think he can really play that veteran role. I think he will get more touches and more work than people are thinking right now. And I understand they have a lot of talent around him, but I think he's in a perfect position with that young quarterback. And I think that 2.7 is way too low.
Again, no risk. There's just no risk at that price. There isn't for maybe he still has one more Eckler season in him. So like it. All right, that's pretty much what I got. I just want to one name. I just want to say one name. I'm just saying the name. I'm not necessarily. I can't believe I'm doing this again. But J.K. Dobbins. Just let's wait and see. I kind of like him.
I want it so badly because I want to be right after so many years. I don't want an injury to make me wrong.
He's $1. You get him for $1. Just think about it. I want it to be right. There's actually a lot of running backs though down there that I like for dirt cheap. I like Chase Brown from the Bengals. I think he has a chance. I mean, ahead of him is just Zach Moss. We had a little bit of good of Zach Moss last year, but in reality, I mean, Chase Brown could take over too for $1. Like, there's a lot of guys. Nick Chubb for dirt cheap. If he actually can come back healthy, he's going for like $5. I don't know. There's just a lot of guys.
Is he really going for 5 right now?
Yeah,
5.3.
5.3. If the health stuff, if we hear good reports, he'll go up, right? He'll easily go up. But in one of our drafts coming up, maybe it might be too early. So
yeah, that's true.
So there's a lot of potential value this year. So, but all right, that'll do it for this one. Talk to you guys next time.